Requiem Episode 2, The Morning. After I wake up on Nadia's couch with mascara on the pillowcase and a $7,000 dress on the floor, the sun is too bright. It feels disrespectful. For a second, I don't remember. Just for a second. That mercy where your brain hasn't loaded yet. And the world is just ceiling and light and a blanket that smells like someone else's laundry detergent. Then it loads. All of it. The aisle. The jaw. The 300 faces. His voice saying Camille's name like he'd rehearsed it in the mirror until it sounded like a business plan instead of a betrayal. I close my eyes. Open them again. Still here. Still real. Still wearing yesterday's underwear on my best friend's couch in Brooklyn. The dress is on the floor because I couldn't hang it up. I tried. I stood in Nadia's hallway at 2 a.m. with a hanger in one hand and $7,000 of Italian lace in the other, and I couldn't make my arms do it. Hanging it up felt like preserving evidence, like keeping it nice for some future version of me who might need it. I don't need it. I folded it instead. Even now, I fold things. My mother raised me to fold things. You can fall apart in every way that matters, but your hands will still crease the fabric along the seam because that's muscle memory, and muscle memory doesn't care about your feelings. The fold is perfect. The rest of me is not. Nadia's kitchen is 4 steps from the couch. She's already there. I can hear the coffee maker doing its thing and the particular sound of her bare feet on tile and the radio playing something in the background that she turned down low enough to not wake me, but loud enough to fill the silence. She knew I'd need the silence filled. I sit up. My ribs hurt. Not from anything physical. From the way I held my body in the cab, curled around myself, arms pressed tight against my sides like I was trying to keep my organs in place. I slept maybe an hour, maybe less. The rest of the night was just lying there with my eyes closed, replaying the same 3 seconds. His hand going up, not toward me, toward the officiant. Coffee's on the counter. Nadia doesn't look at me when she says it. She's wiping down a cutting board she already wiped down, keeping her hands busy, giving me space to enter the room without being observed. This is why she's my person. I shuffle to the counter. She made it black, no sugar, the way Dominic used to make it. I stare at the mug. She follows my eyes, realizes I can add milk or throw it out or set it on fire, whatever you need. It's fine. I drink it black. It's just coffee. He doesn't own coffee. He doesn't own anything about me anymore. Nadia sits across from me. She's still in the clothes she wore to the wedding. The green dress she bought at that consignment shop in Astoria that she swore was designer, and I'm still not convinced. Her eyes are swollen. She's been crying. Not in front of me. Sometime in the night, in her bedroom, where I couldn't hear. She doesn't ask if I'm okay. She already knows. We sit there. 2 women in a small kitchen in Brooklyn drinking coffee on a Sunday morning like it's normal. Like yesterday didn't happen. Like the dress on the hallway floor is just laundry. She reaches across the table and puts her hand on mine. Doesn't squeeze. Just places it there, warm and steady, and leaves it. I let her. My phone. I turned it off in the cab. I remember that. The buzzing against my clutch. Continuous. Insistent. Everyone with something to say. I turned it off because I couldn't deal with whatever the world had to say about what just happened to me. Now it's morning and the phone is sitting on Nadia's side table, dark and quiet, and looking at it feels like looking at a door you know has something terrible behind it. I pick it up, power it on, the screen loads, the notifications stack, 47 missed calls. I count them because counting is what I do. I count instead of feeling. 47 calls from people who watched me walk out of my own wedding and then picked up their phones. Some of them probably called from the parking lot. Some of them probably called each other first to confirm what they saw before calling me to pretend they cared. 12 from numbers I don't recognize. Press, probably. 8 from Eleanor. 8. His mother called 8 times. The woman who introduced me as Dominic's little event planner called 8 times. I don't know what that means. Damage control, maybe. Making sure I'm not talking to reporters. Making sure I'm handling this quietly. Eleanor Ashford does not handle messes. She contains them. 6 from Julian, 3 from the florist. I don't know why the florist called. Maybe she wants her bouquet back. 2 from my boss, former boss. The woman who hired me to coordinate Ashford events because Dominic suggested it. Because everything in my professional life was a thread he could pull. Texts. So many texts. I don't open them. I can see the previews stacking on the lock screen, and they all say versions of the same thing. Oh my God. Are you okay? Call me. I can't believe. Where are you? I scroll through every notification, every single one. 47 calls, 90-something texts, 0 from Dominic, 0, not one call, not one text. He stood at the altar of St. Augustine's Cathedral and announced to 300 people that he was choosing another woman over me. He watched me walk the entire aisle alone in a dress his mother picked out. He watched me push through those doors and walk down those steps. He watched me get in a cab. And then he put his phone in his pocket and went on with his evening. 47 people cared enough to call. The one person who owed me a call didn't. That's the detail, not the announcement, not the 300 faces, not the dress or the peonies or the fact that my father wasn't there to walk me down an aisle I ended up walking back alone. The 0. The 0 is what breaks me. I make it to the bathroom. I close the door. Lock it. Sit on the tile floor with my back against the tub, and I let it happen. I've been holding this since the altar. Since the moment his hand went up and my chest cracked, and I decided that 300 people would not see me bleed. 14 hours of holding everything inside my body like a fist, and now the fist opens, and what comes out is ugly. I cry. Not the kind of crying you see in movies, not photogenic tears sliding down one cheek while sad music plays. The kind of crying that comes from somewhere below your ribs, the kind where your body shakes so hard your teeth click together, and you can't tell if the sound coming out of you is grief or rage or something that doesn't have a word yet. I press my face into my knees and I let it out. All of it. 2 years. I gave him 2 years. I moved into his apartment. I wore his mother's approved dress to his mother's approved parties. I learned the names of his board members and their wives. I memorized which wine to order at which restaurant. I reshaped myself, piece by piece, into someone who could exist in his world without making anyone uncomfortable. And he looked at me at the altar and saw a line item he was ready to cut. My ribs ache. My throat is raw. The tile is cold under my legs, and I don't care. I think about my mother. Not in any useful way. Just the fact of her. She died when I was 14, and she never got to tell me what to do when the person you love decides you're not enough. She never got to tell me anything past 14. Everything after that, I had to figure out on my own. I figured out college on my own. Figured out New York on my own. Figured out how to walk into rooms where I was the least important person and act like I belonged. I can figure out this. But first, I sit on this floor and I cry until there's nothing left. It takes a while. When it's done, I wash my face, cold water. I look in the mirror and the woman looking back has swollen eyes and red skin and mascara that survived a wedding and a cab ride but did not survive the bathroom floor. I wash it off. I open the door. Nadia is sitting on the floor in the hallway, right outside. She wasn't listening. She was just there, in case. She looks up at me. You want toast? I almost laugh. Yeah, I want toast. The apartment. Our apartment. His apartment. I have to go back for my things, and the thought of it makes my stomach turn. Nadia offers to come. I say no. This is something I need to do alone. The faster I go, the less it can hurt. The cab ride from Brooklyn to the Upper East Side takes 40 minutes. I watch the city pass and think about every time I made this trip the other direction. Coming from his world back to mine. Back to Nadia's neighborhood and the restaurants where no one knew Dominic's last name. Back to feeling like myself. I should have paid more attention to that. The doorman lets me in. His name is Gerald, and he's been working the building for 12 years, and he looks at me like he wants to say something but doesn't. He just nods and presses the elevator button and steps back. 43rd floor. The door is unlocked. The apartment is empty. It looks exactly the same. Every piece of furniture in the same position. The kitchen island where I used to sit and watch him make coffee at 5 a.m. because Dominic Ashford does not sleep past 5. The living room with the couch I picked out that he hated and kept anyway because I told him I loved it. The couch is still there. I don't sit on it. I go to the bedroom. The bed is made. He made the bed. He stood at the altar yesterday and ended my life. And then he came home and made the bed with hospital corners because Dominic Ashford makes his bed every morning, regardless of whether he's destroyed anyone. The closet. My side. This is where it gets specific. This is where the big, dramatic, cathedral-sized rejection shrinks down to something small and personal and so much worse. My clothes take up maybe a third of the closet. Dresses I wore to his events. Work clothes from the job he got me. A few things that are actually mine. Jeans from before. The sweater Nadia gave me for Christmas 2 years ago. I find 2 suitcases. 2. That's what my life in this apartment amounts to. 2 roller bags from a trip we took to Nantucket because Eleanor has a house there and Dominic wanted to introduce me to his parents in a relaxed setting, which meant a house with 7 bedrooms and a staff of 4. 2 suitcases, 2 years. I do the math and it doesn't balance. I pack fast, not carefully. I shove clothes in without folding because I used up all my folding last night on the dress. Shoes. The necklace my mother left me. A book I was halfway through. The alarm clock I brought from my old apartment because I don't trust phone alarms. Small, stupid things that shouldn't matter and matter more than everything. The bathroom. His vitamins are on the shelf. Daily multivitamin. Fish oil. That magnesium thing his trainer recommended. Lined up in order of size because even his supplements are organized. My toothbrush is in the holder next to his. I stare at it. 2 toothbrushes. Side by side. Mine is purple. His is white. They've been standing next to each other for 18 months. Every morning and every night, our toothbrushes lived 3 inches apart. The intimacy of that. The stupid, ordinary, devastating intimacy of 2 toothbrushes in a holder. I leave mine. I don't know why. I just can't take it. Taking it feels like admitting that it's over, and leaving, it feels like leaving a ghost. Either way, I can't touch it. I close the medicine cabinet. The suitcases are full. 2 bags. That's it. Everything I accumulated in 2 years of being Dominic Ashford's girlfriend, fiancé, almost wife. 2 bags and a purple toothbrush I couldn't bring myself to take. I stand in the bedroom doorway and look at the space. I lived here. I slept in that bed. I read on that couch. I drank coffee at that counter. I kissed him goodbye every morning in the hallway, and it felt like a life. It was a life. My life. Except my life fit in 2 suitcases and his filled the rest of the apartment. That should have told me something. I hear the front door. Not Dominic. I know his footsteps. These are quicker, lighter, someone who doesn't own the space they're walking through. Julian. He's standing in the living room in yesterday's suit, the tie loosened. And he looks like he hasn't slept either. His hair is doing something his mother would hate. He sees me and the suitcases, and his face does that complicated thing it did in the pew. Guilt and decency fighting each other. I didn't know you'd be here. I came to check on the place. Checking on the place, not checking on me. Even Julian, the kind one, isn't here for me. He's here to make sure his brother's apartment is intact. I'm just getting my things. He looks at the 2 suitcases, then at the apartment. The disproportion registers. Lena. Don't. He didn't send me. I know. He runs his hand through his hair. Fidgets. Julian is the Ashford who got the emotional intelligence and none of the composure. He feels things and it shows on his face the way weather shows on water. I'm sorry for what he did. I told him not to. I told him 100 times. Don't apologize for him. He's a grown man. He's an idiot. I pick up 1 suitcase. He's strategic. Those are different things. Julian watches me zip the second bag. He makes a small movement like he's going to help carry it and stops himself. Good. I don't need someone to carry my bags. I've been carrying my own things since I was 14 years old. Where are you going? I don't know yet. Can I do anything? I think about it. Actually think about it. You can tell your brother I said nothing. That's worse than anything I could say, and he'll know it. Julian's mouth twitches, almost a smile. He asked about you. I stop. He asked Julian, after, when everyone left. He asked if anyone had heard from you. But he didn't call? No. Then he didn't ask hard enough. I take both suitcases and walk to the elevator. Julian doesn't follow. He stands in his brother's apartment looking at the space where my things used to be, and he doesn't say anything else because there's nothing else to say. The lobby, Gerald again. He holds the door open. Ms. Maris, can I get you a cab? Please. The cab comes. Gerald loads the suitcases. He shakes my hand. He actually shakes my hand. For what it's worth, he says. Doesn't finish the sentence. Doesn't need to. Thank you, Gerald. I get in the cab. Brooklyn again. I sit in the back seat with my 2 suitcases, and I think about calling my boss. Former boss. The woman who hired me because Dominic made a phone call. I call her from the cab. I'm resigning, effective immediately. She pauses. She already knows. Everyone already knows. Lena, you don't have to do this right now. Take some time. I've taken enough time in that family's orbit. I'm done. She doesn't argue. She tells me I'm talented. She tells me she's sorry. She tells me the door is always open. The door was never mine. The door had Ashford Holdings etched into the glass. I hang up. Nadia's apartment. She's made the couch into a real bed, sheets, pillows, the good blanket. There's food on the counter she didn't have this morning. She went shopping while I was gone. She's standing in the kitchen pretending she didn't just stress cook an entire meal. How bad? 2 suitcases. Her face. I watch it happen. The shock that 2 years of someone's life can fit in 2 bags. The anger underneath it. Nadia's anger is quieter than mine. It doesn't explode. It builds infrastructure. She is already, I can tell, constructing a plan for how to fix everything. You're staying here as long as you need. I'm not staying. She puts down the spatula. What do you mean? I can't be in New York. Everything here is his. My gym, my dentist, the coffee shop where the barista knows my order because Dominic and I went there every Saturday. I can't walk 3 blocks in this city without